Captain James Walker rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at the main control screen of Earth Defense Station Alpha. Another quiet night watching the stars. His 12-hour shift was almost over, and he looked forward to sleep. "Sir, multiple unknown objects entering Earth orbit," shouted Rob, the young radar operator. His voice cracked with panic. Walker rushed to Rob's station. The radar showed dozens, then hundreds of objects appearing out of nowhere. This wasn't possible. Earth's early warning systems should have detected anything approaching from the outer solar system. "Sound the alarm." "Now," Walker ordered, his military training taking over. Red lights flashed as the station's warning siren blared. Walker grabbed the communication system. "This is Captain Walker of Earth Defense Force. Unknown vessels, identify yourselves immediately." The only answer was silence. Then the main screen flickered, showing a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin and large black eyes. Behind it stood several other alien creatures of different shapes and colors. "Humans," the blue alien spoke in perfect English. "I am High Counselor Vex of the Galactic Council. We have observed your kind for centuries. Your rapid technological growth poses an unacceptable risk to galactic stability. The Council has voted. Earth must be contained." Walker's blood ran cold. "We've never threatened anyone. We haven't even developed faster than light travel yet. It is not what you have done," Vex replied, his voice emotionless. "It is what you will do. Your species advances too quickly and thinks too unpredictably. The safety of the galaxy requires preventative action." The screen went black. "Sir," Rob shouted, "they're powering up weapons systems." Before Walker could respond, the first energy beams struck Earth's surface. The defense station shook violently. Through the observation window, Walker watched in horror as bright beams of light cut through the night sky, striking major cities across the planet. "Get me the president," Walker demanded, but the communications officer shook her head. "All government channels are down, sir. We're picking up emergency broadcasts from surviving military bases worldwide. It's bad." Walker watched the screen showing destruction spreading across the planet. Millions dead in minutes. Earth's military forces were responding, but their missiles and fighter jets were being swatted away like flies. Captain, his second-in-command, Major Tom Davis, spoke quietly beside him. "The experimental warship Phoenix is ready in Bay 7. It's our only vessel with the new shield technology." Walker made a quick decision. "Evacuate all non-essential personnel to the emergency bunkers. Major, get our best people to the Phoenix. We're leaving." "Leaving, sir?" Davis looked shocked. "Earth is lost for now, Major. But if we stay, we die for nothing." Walker's voice was firm despite the pain in his heart. "Sometimes surviving is the best revenge. We'll find a way to fight back." 30 minutes later, Walker stood on the bridge of the Phoenix. The sleek experimental warship was Earth's most advanced vessel, built in secret using technology reverse-engineered from a crashed alien scout ship found decades ago. "All systems ready, Captain," reported Lieutenant Emma Green from the pilot's seat. "But we'll be detected the moment we leave the station's hangar." "Then we'll have to be fast," Walker said. "Plot a course away from the main alien fleet. We'll use the moon for cover." As the Phoenix launched, 3 alien ships broke formation to pursue them. The Phoenix shuddered as enemy weapons fire struck its experimental shields. "Shields at 60%, shouted the engineering officer. "Evasive maneuvers," Walker ordered. "Take us into the debris field." The Phoenix dove into the floating wreckage of Earth's destroyed satellites and space stations. 2 pursuing ships crashed into debris, exploding in bright flashes. The third continued the chase. "They're gaining on us, sir," Emma reported. Walker gripped the command chair. "Activate the experimental jump drive." "Sir, it's never been tested at full power." "We don't have a choice, Lieutenant. Do it." Emma nodded and pressed the sequence. The Phoenix shuddered as energy built up around it. "Jump in 3, 2, 1. The stars blurred around them as the Phoenix vanished from Earth's solar system, leaving behind a devastated homeworld and a surprised alien fleet. Somewhere in the darkness of space, the last free ship of humanity traveled toward an unknown destination. On the bridge, Captain Walker stared at the view screen, his face hard with determination. "They think they've won," he said quietly. "But this fight has just begun." The Phoenix drifted through the dark emptiness of space. 3 days had passed since their desperate escape from Earth. The experimental jump drive had burned out after that first emergency use, leaving them stranded in an unknown region of space. Captain Walker stood in the engine room, watching as Lieutenant Green and the engineering team tried to repair the damaged systems. "How bad is it?" he asked. Green wiped sweat from her forehead and sighed. "Bad, sir. The drive wasn't ready for a full power jump. We're running on emergency power, and life support will only last another week." Walker nodded grimly. Their situation was dire. The crew of 38 represented some of Earth's finest military and scientific minds, but they were lost, alone, and hunted. "Captain to the bridge." Major Davis's voice crackled over the intercom. "We've detected a ship approaching." Walker raced to the bridge, his heart pounding. Had the Council forces found them already? On screen, he ordered as he took his seat. The view screen showed a strange vessel approaching. Unlike the sleek, menacing ships of the Galactic Council, this one looked patched together, with mismatched hull plates and exposed machinery. "They're hailing us, sir," reported the communications officer. Walker hesitated. "Put them through." The screen flickered to show a stocky, orange-skinned alien with 4 eyes and what looked like small horns. Behind him, similar aliens worked at various stations on what appeared to be their bridge. "Damaged vessel," the alien spoke in broken English. "You need help, yes. We are Trill traders, no friends of Council." Walker exchanged glances with Davis. How did this alien know English? And how did they know about the Council? "This is Captain James Walker of Earth. We appreciate your offer, but we have no way to pay for assistance." The alien made a strange sound that might have been laughter. "Payment not important now. Council chases you, yes. Council chases us too. Many years." The alien introduced himself as Captain Merrick of the trading vessel Starhopper. He explained that the Trill had once been members of the Galactic Council until they were expelled for trading with dangerous civilizations. "Council fears different thinking," Merrick explained as his crew helped tow the Phoenix to a hidden asteroid base. "Council species all same. Think same. Act same. Anyone different, they destroy." Inside the asteroid was a bustling trading post filled with various alien species. The humans stared in wonder as they saw creatures of all shapes and sizes going about their business. "Welcome to Free Haven," Merrick said proudly. "Last place in Galaxy Council cannot control." Over the next few days, as the Trill helped repair the Phoenix, Walker learned more about the galactic situation. The Council had ruled for thousands of years, enforcing their idea of stability by eliminating any species that developed too quickly or thought too differently. "Why help us?" Walker asked Merrick one day as they watched the repairs. "You don't know us." Merrick's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "We watch Earth broadcasts. Many years. Interesting stories. Interesting ways of fighting. Council fears humans because humans think. Unexpected." He tapped his head. "Council species, very smart, but think straight line. Humans think around corners. Very useful against Council." Later that evening, Merrick took Walker to a secret meeting room deep inside the asteroid. There, Walker met representatives from 5 other alien species, all victims of Council containment policies. "This is resistance," Merrick explained. "Small now. Fighting Council hard, but never had good warriors." An elegant, silver-skinned alien with no visible mouth spoke directly into Walker's mind. "We have seen records of human warfare. Your species excels at fighting against superior forces. We need this knowledge." Walker looked around the room at these strange aliens, all watching him hopefully. He thought of Earth, of the billions suffering under Council occupation. "The Council thinks they've eliminated the human threat," Walker said slowly. "They're wrong. If you help us save our planet, we'll help you fight your war." Merrick slammed all four of his hands on the table in excitement. "Good. Tomorrow we plan. Today we celebrate new allies." As the aliens cheered, Walker felt hope for the first time since the attack. Earth wasn't alone in the galaxy after all. And now, they had friends who needed exactly what humans did best: fighting against impossible odds. 2 weeks after arriving at Free Haven, Captain Walker stood in a large training room watching his crew teach combat techniques to a group of alien resistance fighters. Major Davis demonstrated hand-to-hand combat moves, while Lieutenant Green explained the basics of guerrilla warfare to fascinated aliens. "Your people learn quickly," Merrick said, standing beside Walker. Walker nodded. "And my crew is learning a lot about your technology. Dr. Reed has been studying the Council communication systems you captured." Speaking of Dr. Lisa Reed, the Phoenix's chief scientist burst into the room, her eyes wide with excitement. "Captain, I need to show you something immediately." In a small lab filled with alien equipment, Dr. Reed pointed to a holographic display showing streams of data. "This is the standard communication protocol used by all Council ships," she explained. "I've been studying it for days, and I found something amazing." Her fingers flew over the controls. "Look here. Every Council ship uses the exact same security system. No variations at all." Walker frowned. "Is that unusual?" "Very," Dr. Reed said. "On Earth, we have thousands of different security protocols. Council species never change their systems. They find one perfect solution and stick with it forever." "And why is this important?" Walker asked. Dr. Reed smiled broadly. "Because I found a weakness. Our quantum computers can break their encryption. We can tap into their communications, send false orders, even shut down their systems remotely." Walker's eyes widened as he understood. "We don't need to match their firepower. We can turn their own ships against them." "Exactly," Reed nodded enthusiastically. "They're so technologically advanced that they never expect anyone to hack their perfect systems." News of Dr. Reed's discovery spread quickly through the Resistance. That evening, the leaders gathered for a strategy meeting. Walker explained the plan to use Earth's hacking abilities combined with Resistance ships for a first strike against a small Council outpost. "Council believes your world defeated," said Kell, a tall, insect-like alien. "They will not expect humans to fight back so soon." "That's exactly why we need to strike now," Walker replied. "The element of surprise is our greatest weapon." 3 days later, Walker stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, now repaired with alien technology. Alongside flew 5 resistance ships of various designs. They approached a small Council monitoring station orbiting a distant moon. "All ships ready," Major Davis reported. "Dr. Reed's program is loaded." Walker took a deep breath. "Begin the operation." Dr. Reed activated her program. On the main screen, they watched as the Council station's lights flickered. "Their systems are shutting down," Reed announced. "Defense shields offline. Weapons disabled. All ships, move in," Walker ordered. The small fleet swooped toward the defenseless station. Resistance fighters boarded it while the humans remained on their ships, guiding the operation. Within 30 minutes, the station was captured without a single casualty on their side. The Resistance fighters returned with prisoners and valuable data. Most importantly, they had proof that Council forces could be defeated. In the days that followed, Walker's team launched similar attacks on 3 more Council outposts. Each time, Dr. Reed's hacking techniques disabled the enemy defenses, allowing for quick, clean captures. Word spread through the Resistance network. Humans had found a way to fight back against the seemingly invincible Council. More alien groups joined their cause. "Council is confused," Merrick told Walker one evening, showing him intercepted Council messages. They think attacks are random. Do not know humans are behind them. Walker smiled grimly. Good. Let's keep them guessing. In his private quarters, Walker studied star maps showing Council territory. The small outposts they had captured were just the beginning. To truly strike back at the Council and free Earth, they would need something bigger. He called in Dr. Reed and his senior officers. We've proven our tactics work, but we need more allies and resources. It's time to take a bigger risk. He pointed to a location on the map. This is a major Council shipyard. If we capture one of their command ships, we can access their central network and learn their plans for Earth. The room fell silent as everyone realized what he was proposing. It would be their most dangerous mission yet. It's risky, Major Davis said finally. But if we succeed, Walker finished, we'll have the tools we need to truly fight back. The Council thinks humans are just another species to be crushed and forgotten. It's time to show them how wrong they are. We need more allies, Captain Walker said, pointing to a star map in the Phoenix's conference room. The Resistance is brave, but too small to challenge the Council directly. Merrick nodded his four-eyed head. I know others who hate Council. Hidden worlds. Expelled species, but they fear fighting back. Then we'll convince them, Walker replied firmly. Show them we can win. Over the next 2 weeks, the Phoenix and 2 Resistance ships visited distant worlds beyond Council space. On each planet, Walker demonstrated Earth's hacking techniques and combat strategies. At first, the alien species were skeptical of these primitive humans. On the fog-covered world of the Vol, tall shadow-like beings listened silently as Walker explained his plan. Your stealth technology is the best in the galaxy, Walker told them. Combined with our hacking abilities, we could strike anywhere without being detected. The Vol leader, a shifting form of darkness, spoke in a whisper. Council drove us from our original homeworld centuries ago. We have hidden, but never fought back. Walker stepped forward. The Council believes species like ours should just accept defeat and disappear. Are they right? After a long silence, the Vol leader extended a misty tendril. We will join your coalition, human. Our shadow ships are yours to command. On the mining planet Krex, massive rock-skinned aliens initially laughed at the humans. Small, soft creatures cannot fight Council. Their chieftain rumbled, towering over Walker. Walker smiled. Size isn't everything. Watch this demonstration. Major Davis, though half the size of the smallest Krex, stepped forward. Using human martial arts techniques adapted for larger opponents, he flipped a surprised Krex warrior 3 times his size. The Krex stopped laughing. When Walker explained how their physical strength and mining explosives could be used in the coming battles, they eagerly joined the growing coalition. The most valuable allies came from the Orsa, a species of brilliant engineers expelled from the Council for creating dangerous innovations. Their world was a wonderland of strange machines and advanced technology hidden inside an asteroid belt. Your quantum hacking approach is interesting, said the Orsa representative, a 6-armed being with glowing eyes. We can improve it tenfold. Working together, Dr. Reed and the Orsa engineers enhanced the humans' hacking program. Now they could disable Council ships from much greater distances. With each new ally, the coalition grew stronger. Walker established a hidden base on an abandoned moon, where representatives from all species could meet and train together. In the training center, humans taught their new allies Earth's military tactics, surprise attacks, psychological warfare, and fighting in small groups against larger forces. These concepts were new to species used to the Council's straightforward approach to war. Council always attacks with big fleets, overwhelming force, Merrick explained as they watched the training. They never expect tricks or traps. And that's why we'll win, Walker replied. They expect us to fight their way. We won't. One evening, Walker received urgent news. Council forces had increased attacks on Earth, trying to crush the remaining human resistance. Time was running out for his homeworld. He called together the coalition leaders for an emergency meeting. "We've been hitting small targets, testing our abilities," Walker said. "But Earth can't wait any longer. We need to strike at something bigger, something that will truly hurt the Council." He brought up a hologram of a massive space station. "This is the Council's central shipyard in this sector. It's where they're building the fleet they plan to use for Earth's final destruction." The alien leaders murmured nervously. This target was far larger than anything they had attacked before. "I know it's risky," Walker continued, "but if we capture a command ship from this yard, we can access the Council's central network. We can learn all their plans and find their weaknesses." Kel, the insect-like alien, clicked his mandibles nervously. "Many guards, heavy defenses, suicide mission." "Not if we use everything we've learned," Walker argued. "The Vol's stealth technology, the Krex's explosive power, the Orcs' engineering genius, and Earth's unexpected tactics." The room fell silent as the coalition members considered his words. Finally, Merrick stepped forward. "I say we try. Better to die fighting than hide forever." One by one, the other leaders agreed. The coalition would make its first major strike against the Council. As the meeting ended, Walker stared at the hologram of the shipyard. The mission would be dangerous, perhaps impossible, but Earth's survival depended on its success. "The Council thinks they've won," he said quietly. "It's time to show them the fight has just begun." The coalition fleet hid behind a small moon, just outside the Council shipyard's sensor range. 20 ships of different sizes and designs waited silently. At their center was the Phoenix, now enhanced with alien technology. On the bridge, Captain Walker checked the final mission details. Everyone knows their roles. The Vol ships will move in first, using their stealth technology to disable the outer sensor grid. Major Davis nodded. "Once the sensors are down, the Krex mining ships will create a diversion at the far side of the shipyard. And while the Council forces are distracted," Dr. Reed added, "we'll take the Phoenix and 2 Orsa ships straight to the main dock where the command ship Dominion is being prepared." Walker looked at the determined faces around him. Humans and aliens working together against a common enemy. It was something the Council never expected. "This is our moment," he told them. "No matter what happens, remember that today we prove the Council can be beaten." The operation began exactly as planned. The shadow-like Vol ships slipped past the outer defenses without being detected. Within minutes, the shipyard's sensor grid went offline. "Sensors down," reported Lieutenant Green from her station. "Krex ships are starting their attack run." On the screens, they watched as explosions erupted on the far side of the massive shipyard. Alarms blared as Council ships rushed to respond to the unexpected attack. "That's our cue," Walker said. "All boarding teams ready. Engage stealth systems and move in." The Phoenix and 2 Orsa vessels glided silently through the chaos toward the central docking area. Thanks to the combined stealth technology, they remained undetected. "There it is," Walker said as they approached a massive Council vessel, the Dominion. Unlike other Council ships, the Dominion had a sleek, menacing design. It was their newest command ship, equipped with advanced weapons and control systems. "Docking complete," Green reported. "Boarding teams ready." Walker joined the first boarding team at the airlock. With him were 6 humans and 4 aliens, 2 Orsa engineers, and 2 Vol infiltrators. Each carried weapons and equipment designed for their specific roles. "Dr. Reed, begin the hack," Walker ordered. From the Phoenix, Dr. Reed activated her enhanced hacking program. On board the Dominion, lights flickered as systems went offline. Internal defenses disabled. Reed's voice came through the comm. "You have 15 minutes before their backup systems activate." "Move out," Walker ordered. The boarding team rushed through the Dominion's corridors, encountering minimal resistance. Most of the ship's crew had been caught by surprise when their systems failed. In the ship's central control room, they found Sub-Counselor Fax, a thin, blue-skinned alien similar to High Counselor Vex. Unlike the Council soldiers, who fought to the end, Fax surrendered immediately. "You are making a grave mistake," Thax said coldly as Walker's team secured the control room. "The Council cannot be defeated." Walker ignored him. "Dr. Reed, we've secured the control center. Begin data transfer." While Orsa engineers connected devices to the ship's computers, Reed began downloading everything in the Dominion's database. The information would be priceless: Council defense plans, fleet movements, and communication codes. "Captain," Reed's excited voice came through the comm, "I'm finding something unexpected in their files. It's about why they attacked Earth." "What does it say?" Walker asked. "Earth wasn't attacked because we might become a threat someday," Reed explained. "We were attacked because humans have a unique capacity for innovation that terrifies the Council leadership. According to these files, only 3 species in Council history have shown our level of creative thinking. All were eliminated." Walker felt cold anger spread through him. "So they didn't attack us to protect the galaxy. They attacked us to protect their power." "There's more," Reed continued. "I found the location of the Council's central meeting point. All representatives from member species will gather there in 1 month for their grand assembly." Walker looked at the captured sub-counselor, who now seemed afraid. "Thank you for this valuable information, Thax. It seems we now know exactly where to take this fight next." Alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. "Captain," Green's voice came urgently over the comm. "Council reinforcements are arriving. We need to go now." "Begin evacuation," Walker ordered, "and prepare the Dominion for departure as well." Thax looked shocked. "You're stealing our command ship." Walker smiled grimly. "Consider it part of Earth's retaliation." As Council ships rushed toward the shipyard, the Phoenix and the stolen Dominion slipped away, carrying the Coalition forces and their valuable prisoner. For the first time since the attack on Earth, Walker felt real hope. The tide was turning. The stolen Council command ship Dominion flew alongside the Phoenix, heading back to the Coalition's hidden base. Inside the Dominion's main conference room, Captain Walker and the Coalition leaders gathered around a holographic display showing the Council's central station. "This is where they'll hold their grand assembly," Walker explained, pointing to a massive space station shaped like a wheel. "Every Council member species will send representatives. Even High Counselor Vex will be there." Merrick studied the hologram carefully. "Many defenses. Impossible to attack directly." "We're not going to attack it," Walker replied. "At least, not in the way they expect." He nodded to Dr. Reed, who stepped forward. "I've been studying the data we took from the Dominion. The Council maintains power by keeping member species afraid and misinformed. Most Council worlds don't know the truth about why species like ours are eliminated." "So what do you propose?" asked the Vol leader, its misty form shifting nervously. Walker smiled. "We're going to tell them the truth. All of them. At once." Over the next days, Dr. Reed worked with Orsa engineers to develop a special broadcast system. It could override all Council communication channels simultaneously. Meanwhile, Walker interrogated Sub-Counselor Thax, learning more about Council operations and security protocols. "Your plan is foolish," Thax told Walker during one session. "Even if you reach the central station, even if you broadcast your message, the Council military will destroy you." "Perhaps," Walker admitted, "but we'll make sure the truth gets out first." When everyone gathered again, Walker explained the complete plan. It had 3 phases. First, Coalition forces would create a diversion by attacking multiple Council outposts at once. This would draw away defensive fleets from the central station. Second, the Phoenix and Dominion would approach the central station. With the stolen command codes, they could pose as a damaged Council ship returning for repairs. Third, once inside, Walker would lead a small team to the station's communication center. There, they would broadcast evidence of the Council's secret policy of eliminating innovative species, along with proof that member worlds were being lied to. "This plan is very human," said Kell, clicking his mandibles nervously. "Many things could go wrong." "That's why we'll test it first," Walker replied. There's a small council outpost near the edge of their territory. We'll try our broadcast system there before attempting the main mission." 1 week later, the Coalition launched their test run. The Phoenix approached a minor council outpost, and Dr. Reed activated her broadcast override. It worked perfectly. For 30 minutes, every screen on the outpost showed evidence of council deception. When they safely returned to base, reports confirmed their success. The outpost's own personnel had turned against their council leaders after seeing the truth. "It works," Walker told the gathered Coalition. "Now we prepare for the real mission." Training intensified as each species practiced their role in the operation. The Vol perfected their stealth techniques for the infiltration team. The Kreks prepared their ships for the divergent attacks. The Orsa fine-tuned the broadcast system to ensure maximum coverage. 3 days before the planned mission, Walker received disturbing news from Coalition spies. High Counselor Vex had moved up the timeline for Earth's final destruction. A massive council fleet was gathering, scheduled to sterilize the planet completely. Walker called an emergency meeting with his closest advisors. "We're out of time," he said grimly. "The Council is preparing to destroy Earth entirely, to eliminate any trace of humanity from the galaxy. Can we move up our plan?" Major Davis asked. Walker nodded. "We have to. The Grand Assembly begins tomorrow. We launch our operation immediately." As Coalition ships prepared for departure, Walker stood alone in his quarters, looking at a small photo of Earth he had carried since their escape. Everything depended on what happened in the next 24 hours. Either they would succeed in turning the Council worlds against their leaders, or humanity would face extinction. On the bridge of the Phoenix, Walker addressed the combined human-alien crew. "Today we fight not just for Earth, but for every species the Council has targeted. They believe their power is absolute. They believe species like ours should accept defeat and disappear. Today we prove them wrong." The Coalition fleet moved out, heading toward their separate targets. The most daring operation in the Resistance's history had begun. Walker felt the weight of billions of lives on his shoulders. But he was not alone. Humans and aliens stood together, united by a common cause: freedom from the Council's tyranny. The final battle was about to begin. The day of the Galactic Council Assembly arrived. The central station orbited a beautiful blue-green planet, its ring-shaped structure gleaming in the light of a distant sun. Inside, thousands of representatives from Council worlds gathered in the massive central chamber. Far away, Coalition forces launched their diversionary attacks. The Kreks mining ships struck Council outposts in 3 different sectors, drawing away defensive fleets. Meanwhile, the Phoenix and Dominion approached the central station, their signals identifying them as damaged Council vessels returning for repairs. "They're scanning us," Lieutenant Green reported from the Phoenix's pilot's seat. Walker stood on the bridge, outwardly calm despite his racing heart. "Transmit the clearance codes we got from Thax." Tense moments passed. Finally, Green smiled. "Codes accepted. We're cleared to dock in Emergency Bay 4. As the 2 ships entered the docking bay, Council technicians approached to assist what they thought were fellow Council vessels. They were quickly subdued by Coalition forces. Walker gathered his infiltration team: Major Davis, Dr. Reed, 2 Vol infiltrators, and 3 Orsa engineers. "Remember the plan," Walker told them. "We need to reach the central communication hub. The rest of our forces will create distractions throughout the station to draw security away." The team moved through service corridors, guided by station maps downloaded from the Dominion's database. The Vol used their stealth abilities to scout ahead, while the Orsa engineers disabled security systems they encountered. Suddenly, alarms blared. "They've discovered us," Davis shouted. "Faster," Walker ordered. "We need to reach the hub before they lock it down." Racing through corridors, they encountered Council security forces. Davis and Walker fought them off using human combat techniques that confused the Council soldiers, who were used to fighting in rigid formations. After fierce fighting, they reached the communication hub, A large room filled with advanced technology. The ORSA engineers quickly connected Dr. Reed's broadcast system. "How long?" Walker asked, as Davis and the others secured the room. 3 minutes to override their systems, Reed replied, her fingers flying over the controls. "Then we can broadcast to every council facility and world simultaneously." Council reinforcements pounded on the sealed door. "Make it 2 minutes," Walker said. Outside in space, Council warships surrounded the Phoenix and Dominion. Coalition forces fought desperately, buying time for Walker's team. In the central chamber, High Counselor Vex addressed the gathered representatives, unaware of the chaos spreading through the station. "The Council has maintained galactic stability for 10,000 years, Vex proclaimed. "Today, I announce the final elimination of another dangerous species, humans from the planet Earth." At that moment, every screen in the chamber changed. Council representatives gasped as Walker's face appeared. "People of the Galactic Council," Walker said, his voice calm but powerful. "You have been lied to. The Council leadership doesn't protect galactic stability. They protect their own power." The broadcast showed evidence from the Dominion's database, records of species eliminated not because they threatened others, but because they threatened the Council's control. "Humans weren't attacked because we might become dangerous someday," Walker continued. "We were attacked because we think differently, because innovation and creativity frighten your leaders." In the chamber, representatives turned to Vex in confusion. Similar scenes play out on countless council worlds, as citizens saw the truth for the first time. Vex shouted orders to cut the transmission, but it was too late. Council security forces across the station began standing down, unwilling to fight once they understood the truth. In the communication hub, Walker watched as screens showed Council ships stopping their attack. Many ships were turning against each other as crews argued over the revelations. "It's working," Dr. Reed said in amazement. "They're listening to us." The door to the hub finally burst open. But instead of security forces, a group of Council representatives entered, led by a tall, dignified alien. "I am Speaker Jorrell of the Teller," the alien said. "We have heard your message. Many of us have long suspected the High Council's corruption, but feared to speak. No more." 3 months later, Walker stood on a platform at the United Nations building in New York. Earth was free again, its cities beginning to rebuild. Before him stood representatives from 50 formerly Council-controlled species, gathered to sign the new Galactic Concordat, an alliance based on cooperation rather than control. "Today marks a new chapter," Walker told the assembled delegates, "not just for Earth, but for all species who value freedom and innovation." As he looked out at the diverse gathering of aliens and humans working together, Walker thought about how far they had come. The Council had thought humans would be easy to crush. Instead, Earth's fierce retaliation had changed the galaxy forever. Humanity had not just survived, they had shown the galaxy a better way forward.